Like sending any email with an attachment at 60K was really, really painful. I know that, and I feel for you because I go through the same every day when I go home. So how are we going to be different? Well, number one, as I mentioned, we don't have the legacy mindset, and we don't have the legacy investment. So why is 3G challenging? Number one, I launched 3G network in the States, so I know exactly how 3G works. For 3G works based on two things. 3G carries data on a packet network, and 3G carry voice on a circuit network. So which means that for any spectrum that you have, you pretty much have to do some very rigid planning of I'll allocate this much spectrum for circuit traffic, this much spectrum for data traffic. Which means that if you have a lot of data, you deprive on voice. If you have a lot of voice, you deprive data. If you look at the United States, the biggest problem for AT&T is iPhone. It was supposed to be a good story for AT&T because of iPhone's exclusivity, AT&T was able to get a lot of high-paying customers, right? But it became AT&T's biggest headache after the first year. Why? Because of the tonnage. iPhone drive a lot of data. iPhone is built for data. iPhone actually should be built for WiMAX, right? Because it is very data intensive, and that's what WiMAX is good at. So when AT&T launches iPhone, firstly, it was quite exciting. Everyone loved it. And after a while, people start congesting the network. Congesting to the point that people start losing their voice quality. Congesting to the point that people start losing their data up-down link capability and impact other guys. If I'm a BlackBerry guy on the AT&T network in San Francisco, guess what? I won't be sending much emails either. Not because my BlackBerry is not working, it's because the 3G, the iPhone guys are sucking up the tonnage. And it really creates problem with a lot of people at AT&T. And I feel for the pain because fundamentally, AT&T's network is a good network. But the technology behind it, the 3G technology with HSPA, is not optimized for data. When you have people, okay, let's look at two things. There are two growth curves. One growth curve is voice. One growth curve is data, right? If you look at the growth curve for voice, it's pretty much plateaued. Why? Because you can only talk so much. Data, quite different, right? The growth curve is accelerating as opposed to plateauing, which means that if you look at the forecast for the trending of the future is about data, it's not about voice, because you can only talk so much. So if a network needs to be future-proof, then it better be very aware of how to deal with data. Well, the good news is WiMAX is data-friendly. Why is it data-friendly? Because it's flat IP, which means that we don't have a circuit network. Which means that our network from day one fundamentally is all packet-based, which is how the internet works. Internet is a packet network. So when you have a network that is fully compatible with the internet, it's future-proof, right? And that's important. In our opinion, voice is just an application, right? I think that's a big paradigm shift. Telcos are not geared for that. Telcos are geared as voice as a single product that drives 80% of the revenue and the business model and the business processes and the corporate culture. When you go into a scenario where data is what drives the corporate culture, it's what drives the business processes, it's what drives the systems, it's a huge paradigm shift. If you were to drive a car, right, you can go into a car and change gear. But in this case, when you go into this scenario where the paradigm shift is so different, you're not just changing gears anymore, you're changing the entire platform underneath you. And that's huge. So I think it's a fantastic benefit that YTL doesn't have the legacy of a telco. It doesn't have the mentality, the business processes, and the culture of a telco. I think that's important. Great. Did I answer your question? Good. So please enjoy your shirt.
Sorry, we're running out of time. We can only have one more question. If you have more question, you can maybe approach me. One more question.
One more. You pick.
Two more. Say better. Never had several.
Okay, I'll take two more. Maybe this gentleman.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
I want to know that up to right now, which brand of handheld device, right, got built in the WiMAX chipset? If you say that the iPhone is built for WiMAX, right, then I don't wish that iPhone need to plug in the WiMAX dongle.
If you have time, allow me to show you a video. Anyone that want to see a cool video, stay behind. I'll show you a cool video. We have the projector, right? Don't we? We had the projector. Okay. So come up. I'll show you a video, and then your answer will be in the video. How's that? So a little suspense, but that video is a cool video. I promise you that. Hey, he's a projector. So hook it up. We'll show a video, and there'll be a clear answer for you. I promise. Next.
Good evening, Mr. Wing. I'm Alex. Thanks for sharing so much of insight and technical details. May I know what is your secret of your success? Something different.
Something different.
Yeah.
The secret of my success.
Yeah.
That's actually a tough question. Because I don't consider myself entirely successful. I'm only 42. Life is a long journey. What got us to where I am today doesn't guarantee that I'll be successful next year. I have to earn my pay. I have to earn my success. But I can tell you that what I got to where I am today is, I think fundamentally I'm humble about what I do. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to apply myself and work hard. As I mentioned to you, my first two jobs, I always ask people, what can I do? And I always make sure that if I put my name next to it, it better be good. I think these are the fundamental work ethics that allow me to be able to provide value. But of course, it helps that I was given all this fantastic opportunity to grow my career. If you look at my career, for 15 years at Sprint, I have 5 jobs, right? As I explained to you. One leads to another as a stepping stone that help me to leapfrog. And I'm fortunate that I have good mentors that I learn from. And not just mentors in a formal sense, but mentors in an informal sense, whereby I seek out and I try to read a lot of books. I try to learn. You know, if you go to iTunes, it's a fantastic place, even though you don't have an iPod. You can fire up the iTunes application, and you have access to a lot of top level education sources. Harvard, MIT, all have the coursework online. You can access through iTunes as well. I think Oxford does the same thing. So that, as at your fingertip. It all boils down to your initiative. If you have the initiative to learn, the world has got tremendous resource for you to learn. I hope that helps.